Today's shaping up to be quite a day for news. Sony just refreshed the a7 III and the a7R4, and Canon just certified another R system camera. This and more after the intro. Thanks for tuning in to The Ordinary Filmmaker. Subscribe to get notification of new videos like this one so you don't miss any news, rumors, gear reviews, or tutorials. And a big thanks to Atomos for sponsoring The Ordinary Filmmaker. I'm using the Ninja 5 external recorder for all my studio work, as it really does save me a ton of time in post. So if you want to speed up your projects in post, well then consider using my links down below to purchase your own Ninja and help support this channel. And now for the news. Today started off with a clear lack of news, but that changed in a hurry. Two Sony cameras entered certification. Sony updated the a7 III and the a7R4, and a new Canon camera entered certification. Now we've heard very little about Canon recently, but thanks to a tweet from Nakashita, we can see that Canon certified a new camera. The only question, which one is it? Is it the Canon EOS R1? I think that's unlikely. It's supposed to be released in 2022 with an announcement later this year, probably around NAB 2021. Although an R1 would be a nice announcement, wouldn't it? Or could it be a replacement for the EOS RP, which is definitely due? Or what about an EOS R replacement? All possible options. It could also be a high megapixel version of the Canon EOS R5, or even the R5C, a cinema version of the R5 without any overheating. Another possibility is an APS-C R system camera, but something's nagging me. I can't forget a post from Canon Rumors that, well, talked about a camera that was supposed to impress at CP+, but was pulled at the last minute due to delays of production and other supply chain issues that's been plaguing Canon for some time now. Whichever camera is to be announced, I do believe that it's going to be an impressive camera, that it's going to get attention. I don't believe this is going to be some minor update. The only remaining question, when are we going to get it? Now, it's common to get announcements within 1 to 3 months after a camera enters certification. But I suspect we're going to get an announcement sometime by the end of April or moving into the first week or two of May. And the reason why? Well, we already have credible information that Canon's planning to announce several high-quality super telephoto lenses. I believe it's the 300mm f2.8 and the 500mm f4, and maybe even I think we might be getting the 100mm f2.8, although that one I can't quite remember. Old man brain, I don't remember things too well, and I didn't jot this stuff down. So that's my best guess. I know we're getting the 300 and the 500. We'll just have to wait to see what the third one is. But what I think is happening here, Canon's woken up from their long winter hibernation, and things are about to get interesting. I just wish we'd get a few more leaks telling us what this camera is going to be. Do you want more proof that Sony doesn't leak camera and lens specifications? Sony just announced 2 camera bodies, and not a single rumor site picked up on it. This was completely unexpected. Moreover, none of these cameras were even on the radar. See, I'm so excited I can't even say my words right. Now, Sony announced what amounts to a minor update to the a7R line with the a7 III and the a7R4. Now, both cameras do get a needed LCD resolution boost from 1.4 million dots, yay, to 2.359 million dots. And they also get USB 3.2. But the next spec, this is where it gets really exciting, so I hope you're sitting down. Are you ready? The Sony logo under the LCD monitor has been removed. Yeah, no, I know, I'm sorry. Look, I didn't even do an April Fool's joke, but I'm just running out of things to say. These are not a major update. This is something you would expect in a firmware update. Okay, I know you can't update the LCD in a firmware update, but I'm just saying these are very minor updates. And the only other update that I have is that, well, there's improvements in batteries. So the one thing that's kind of got me here is, why would Sony go ahead and release a minor update to the a7 III and the a7R4 in what amounts to be a more minor update than Nikon did with the Z6 and Z7 Mark II? Now, improvements are always appreciated no matter how minor, but how much of the customer base is waiting to see a major update to the a7 IV? I think this news is more likely to cause frustration than anything else. I mean, after all, to get these updates, you need to buy a whole new camera. Now, if I had the a7 III, which is a very good camera, I couldn't see myself buying into this update. By the time I sold my camera and bought a new one, I'd be out quite a bit of coin. And I'd be asking myself, well, wait a minute, when is the successor coming out, the real successor, the one we were waiting for, the A7 IV? That's the big question. Although it's not like we had to wait 5 years for an update to the A7S III now, is it? And I know, I'm sorry, I'm not trying to pour salt on the wound here. This is why it's very important when camera companies provide regular updates every 2 years, every 4 years, every year, especially if they don't leak information, because then as a customer we can say, okay, you know, I bought my camera 2 years ago, we're likely to get an update in 1 year, 2 years, I think I can wait for that, or, you know, I don't think I can wait. But when your updates are all over the place and you don't leak information, as a customer, it becomes a little bit frustrating. So hopefully we get a little bit more information. At this point, there's nothing on the A7 IV. Is it going to get delayed into 2022, 2023? Is it completely off the table and these are the updates we're going to get for the next 2 to 3 years? I certainly hope not. And now, let's go behind the scenes. I was actually just uploading the video that I published this morning when I got news of the A7 R4 and the A7 III, the two A updates. I'm not too sure about the name. When you've got a lowercase a for alpha and then another A at the end, it's a little bit confusing. And when I first read it, I automatically saw, this is the A7 IV. What, the A7 IV? I've just uploaded a video. Do I have to cancel it? Well, I spent a little bit of time, put my glasses on, and I read and going, okay, wait a minute. This is an update to the A7 III. That camera's already out. The A7 IIIA and the A7 R4A. Okay, and I remembered looking at the details from Sony Alpha Rumors and Sony Rumors, and I was looking at the updates and going, okay, this is just a minor update. What's going on here? What purpose does this serve? And, you know, sometimes when you're capturing the news and the rumors, and sometimes things happen very quickly as they did here today. I was just uploading the video I'd already shot earlier this morning, and new news came out. And I had thought, do I just cancel? Do I go ahead and cancel that other video and reproduce? And I thought, no, because the big story in that one was about Canon's a Canon patent on the global shutter. And so I changed the thumbnail so it focused on that, with talking to a new Sony camera being imminent. And here's where I'm kind of confused. This morning, Nakashita said, look, we've got 2 cameras entering certification. And then within a few hours, Sony announced 2 cameras. And these were minor updates, again, to the A7. See, with Sony, I always have trouble saying the names because I always get tongue-tied. The A7 IIIA and the A7 R4A. Okay, were those the 2 certifications for those 2 cameras? Now, usually, we have to wait a whole lot longer than 2 hours to get the announcement. So I'm really hoping that these are just a minor update. These aren't the 2 cameras under certification, that the A7 IV is coming out soon. Because if these are the 2 major cameras and we're not getting the A7S or the A7 IV, see, I almost did it. I almost said the A7S IV. If we're not getting the A7 IV this year or maybe even next year, then I think that's a bit of a strategic mistake. And forget what Canon is doing. As a Sony customer, you're going to feel a little bit let down. You've been looking forward to that A7 IV. You thought maybe it might come last year. You know, it had been 2 years since we got the A7 III. And then definitely this year, right, at 3 years? But then we get these 2 minor updates. And that's where I'm really puzzled. I'm really kind of confused, and I almost didn't put this video out there. I didn't even know what to say. I thought, well, what am I going to say? Where's the analysis? Where's the opinion coming? And I thought about it for a good long while, and then I realized, okay, well, I think there is a lot of confusion here. We need to get some sort of clarification from Sony. And I'd like to get some rumors on this, so I'm doing my best to reach out to try to find out, is this the update that we were looking for with the A7 III? Are we going to be getting a successor, a major build update like an A7 IV anytime soon, or are we just going to have to wait? And I fear with Sony, because they don't give us a lot of information. Now, they do come out of the woodwork every now and then, once a year, and say, yes, this camera is definitely coming. Yes, we're working on it. But they usually don't provide a lot of detail. So I'm really hoping we can reach out to Sony and find out, is the A7 IV on the way soon? Because that's kind of a big deal. I'm looking forward to that camera. I think Sony makes terrific cameras. In fact, whenever Sony and Canon do something, I'm very interested, because these really currently are the 2 market leaders when it comes to innovation. And that's why this has got me completely confused. Why would you release these minor updates and then in a few months later release the A7 IV? It doesn't make sense. you'd only release these 2 minor updates if the A7 IV and the A7R5 is way off in the distance. But that's it for now. Don't forget to subscribe for your chance to win 2 Angelbird 128GB AV Pro MK2 V90 SD cards, along with a dual UHS-2 card reader. Or you could also win a Ulanzi LED light package with an accent light, underwater light, and various other flat panel lights to light your subject, or as a really good starter kit for starting your own YouTube channel. I'll be awarding these 2 prize bundles once the channel reaches 30,000, and then I'll offer up other prize bundles all the way up to 100,000, at which point I'll be awarding a brand new Canon EOS R5 full-frame mirrorless camera to one lucky viewer. On that bombshell, thank you so much for watching The Ordinary Filmmaker. It's always appreciated. We'll see you again soon.